It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I am at dressing gown level. I'm still dressed underneath, but once that light starts to go, that temperature drops really fast. So you're going to see me in this a lot from now on, and you're just going to have to get used to it, I'm afraid. I have started my Christmas shopping. It's something that I don't even think about until November. Well, I kind of think about it, I don't do anything about it. I always have a very tight budget for Christmas, and I think that's very necessary for me, not just because I don't really have the money to spend on other people, but also because the people I buy for don't need anything. If they want something, they'll buy it themselves. So I try to be very strategic with what I get. My parents can buy whatever they want, but they don't always have, sometimes, let's say, the technology skills or the ability to find things or the knowledge that things exist to get them. And that gives me an advantage, which is that I can get them things that they don't know how to get. So something that I tried to get last year and failed with was for my dad, who's incredibly difficult to buy for. Men in the family always seem to be difficult to buy for, my dad particularly. My dad suffers really badly with the cold. He had, gosh, how many years ago now? I don't know, 10 years ago, some fairly mild cancer treatment. And since then, he doesn't seem to be able to regulate his temperature very well. He gets very cold in the winter. So when I will go down at Christmas, the heat will be belting out. And my dad will be constantly complaining how cold he is. He'll be sitting there in a puffer jacket, like a gilet, and with his jumper and his shirt and everything else on, but he'll be freezing cold. So something I was trying to get last year and couldn't get because I kind of left it too late and I needed to do more research and I was worried about getting the wrong thing, was one of these heated vests. And Martin Lewis was talking about them last year. They were talking about them as a good way to stay warm on a budget. They're not that cheap on their own, and it depends which ones you buy. I look on eBay and you can get everything from a cheap nasty tenner up to a well-made £80-90 one. I'm not going to spend a lot of money because he may not even like it. My dad's quite fussy. But this year I've done more research. I was very particular in what I wanted. There were particular things about most of the designs that I didn't like that I knew my dad wouldn't like. But I've managed to get one and I've ordered it today. The problem with most of these heated vests is that you have to buy the power packs separately. And it's just a little mobile phone size, like a smartphone sized pack that you charge in a USB, so you can charge it from your computer or from a phone charger, that sort of thing. And then there's a USB on the vest and you plug it in, you put it in the pocket and it'll use the charge from that. So it's really cheap to recharge, but they're not cheap to buy. So combined, and I've had to buy them from different sellers because often you can't get them from the same seller. I've bought the gilet, which has it has 5 heated pads in it, so 2 at the front and 3 across the back, up along the back. And I've bought the power pack separately, and the whole thing's come to £37.08 from 2 different sellers on eBay. And I think that's quite fair. It's cheaper than the ones I saw last year because I left it too late and by then everyone was buying them. So today I pressed the buy button and I've done it. So that's my dad's present sorted. He ain't getting any more from me, I don't think, because that's quite a lot. I have a very tight budget. Last year my Christmas budget was £150. Now I have my parents to buy for. I have my brother, my sister-in-law, They're 3 children who are all 8 and under, so they're relatively easy to buy. You can get any old tat for a child and they'll be happy with it, particularly if it's like colouring stuff and art stuff. They love all that. So packs of pens, Play-Doh, all that sort of thing is ideal for them. And my sister-in-law has a big family, so the kids don't want for anything. They're absolutely spoiled. Anything I buy them is going to get lost. So I tend to keep it really small, really cheap, because they don't care. My brother's really hard to buy for. I tend to resort to buying like a nice pack of, craft beers and things like that. So I'll probably do something like that just because it's easier. This year I was going to buy my parents a joint present. And I was going to buy them some sparrow boxes. You can buy banks of make your own sparrow boxes that you can attach to your house to try and encourage the sparrows, because we've lost all our sparrows. So I might buy that as a joint present, but then I've just spent a lot of money on Dad for his present. So I need to see, because my budget for Christmas is £150. That's what I spent last year, and I'm going to do my best to stick to that this year. I don't have anyone I need to buy unnecessarily for, because like I said, if there's stuff they want, they just buy it. So anything I buy for them is a token thing. It's not like my brother desperately needs a new winter coat and he can't afford one. It's not like they need food parcels, things like that. Everything is a treat. So, my dad's present is very practical, and I really hope this solves some of the problem with keeping warm, because I'm sick of him moaning about how cold he is when it's 24 degrees in the house. I'm hoping this is going to really help. So £150 budget. We'll see what we can do. I'm confident that despite the price rises, we can do this. You just have to get a bit clever. And I always ask what people want. I have a little conflab with my mum and say, right, what does anybody actually want this year? And I think we'll just keep it just really simple. It shouldn't be about spending a ton of money on people. I resent that Christmas is only the best Christmas if you spent a fortune on people and got yourself into debt. That really, really bugs me. It's not necessary. It should be about just being together with people and having a nice time, not how much money you spent on them, how many things you acquired. I would be happy if nobody bought me anything. I don't really need anything. I'm quite happy with a very simple life. If I get asked what I want, I will put things on that I don't buy for myself. So my mum's really big on buying bathroom things, smellies, all that kind of stuff. And I don't buy any of that stuff for me. I haven't had to buy myself any bathroom things, apart from the basics like toothpaste, for years. All the like the shower gels and the perfume and all that comes from my parents. My mum is a shopper. She loves to buy stuff. So you will end up with probably more than you need, but it means that I have a very healthy stash of bathroom products, which grows every year because, of course, sharers are on ration. So I don't go through it quick enough between Christmas and birthdays to use it all up. I could open my own branch of Boots, I think, but it's lovely stuff as well. So never complain about that. Anyway, so the other people I need to buy for, or I've stopped buying for, is my best friend, whose two sons are my godsons. Equally, they don't want for anything. They don't need anything from me. The boys get literally everything they ask for. There is nothing I could buy them that they would appreciate. So I don't bother buying presents for them because they don't need anything. I just do a card for the family. But my best friend's birthday is 2 days before Christmas, so I always do her something for her birthday. And I've been doing that for a few years now, since when things got pretty tough. And I've made it very clear that I just can't afford to do it. Last year I made her birthday present. I did her a set of my braided coasters. I'm probably going to make something again this year, but I haven't decided what. I might do the braided bracelet bangles that I make and do her a set of those. I need to find the right fabrics. I don't have anything in my stores at the moment that I think is going to do the job, but I do have to go and buy some fabric because I have a commission from another friend of mine to make her. There are these t-shirt tops that she really likes, and she had this one top that she loved, and it felt a bit. So she gave me the shirt, and over the last few years, I have been making her new shirts exactly the same as the other one in fabrics that she chooses, and so I've got one of those to make. So I need to go to a fabric shop, so I might see if I can get some scraps and offcuts and small amounts and make some of these bracelet bangles, and I might put some in the shop as well. So, ideas. It's coming together. I don't think I'm going to struggle for ideas this year. I'm not stressed about Christmas, and that's purely because I don't let it stress me out. I lay down the rules, I say what I can and can't do, and I do it that way. And it works itself out just fine. So that's my little talk on Christmas. I will update that as I go along, because obviously we're still early in November. I'm still in the first week of November, so I'm going to systematically just work my way through the ideas and the things that I will buy, and when I see the right things, and I will research the hell out of things. I will look in store, see what I see, and then I will probably look on eBay and see what I can get at a discount. I'm not really a Black Friday shopper or a Cyber Monday shopper. I don't find the deals very good, and it's never on things that I want anyway, so it's not good money. I'm not looking to buy any tech this year or any big budget, like a new fridge freezer, things like that. So it's pointless me looking at those sales, because the things that I want generally aren't included in the sales. There is one tech item that I want to buy, which I'm going to get quite close to Christmas, and it's a little DIY upcycle recycle tech project that I'm going to share on here when I do it. And it's that, and I think I've mentioned it earlier in the year, because I've been thinking about this for ages, and I think it's now got to the point where I really need to do it, and that is to replace the battery on my laptop. Because it's now got to the point where my laptop sometimes just goes into lock mode and shuts down, and I think the battery's getting to the point where it's completely had it. I don't think it's holding more than a 9% charge now, but I can get the batteries for about £30–40, and I think that is a hell of a lot cheaper than buying a new laptop at £400 or £500. And luckily for me, the laptop I have, you can change the batteries, and I can get the proper batteries for it as well, not some cheap knockoff. So I am keen on doing that. I'm going to do that project whilst I am at my parents' for Christmas, because then I can use my dad's computer and watch the YouTube video that tells me how to do it whilst I do it. So if there's a problem and I mess up my laptop, I'm not stuffed, because they have Wi-Fi and I don't have Wi-Fi. And I just think this is going to be a safer way of doing it whilst mitigating any problems. But anyway, that's a future project for before the end of the year, certainly before I get back here in the new year. But that'll be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to doing that and hoping that it works. It should work. So that's my little kind of Christmas talk, really. Yeah, token presents are useful presents. So token presents, food, alcohol. You can never go wrong with giving someone a bottle of Prosecco or some craft beers or something. My brother's quite into his lagers, and the local Morrison's here has a really fantastic range of Manchester produced or northern produced beers that I don't think he can get all the way down there, so I like to get him the odd new thing. And there's one or two that I've bought him before that he said he really liked, so I'm going to try and give him a nice little mini selection to enjoy. It is what it is. I don't, if people don't like what I buy them, then I won't buy them stuff anymore. It's as simple as that. It's just an overhyped event, Christmas. It shouldn't be about the money. It shouldn't be about the quantity of stuff. But retailers have just hijacked the whole point of what Christmas is about. And it's a bit saddening, because I think it puts people under a huge amount of unnecessary pressure. I think it's unfair. This year isn't going to be any better than last year. If anything, it's going to be worse. because I know that lots of people will be doing their Christmases from bed sits and the backs of their cars and temporary accommodation, which is just awful. And I think the shelters on Christmas Day are going to be through the roof with people. It's just so devastating. It really is crazy. Anyway, so I'm going to end on that note. But I will keep doing little updates as I buy stuff, because it might give you ideas. You know, this vest thing, £37, but if my dad likes it and it works, that could have solved a massive problem, and it'll be something that he'll use quite a lot. And let's hope it's not so cheap that it falls to bits. I didn't buy the really cheap ones. The British made ones are really expensive, and I can't justify it for something that I don't know if he's going to like. We're hedging our bets. We're kind of mid-price range, because you have to buy the two things separately. Anyway, I'm finished there. I'm waffling now. That's my beginning of Christmas spend updates, and I will keep just adding more bits as I go.